up, nerds? So I just finished Superman and Lois, episode 7. And man, what a good episode. I'm telling you right now, this show, it's always been good. I love this show so much. And I wish that it wasn't getting canceled because I think that everything about this show is good. I think that the writing is good. I think that the acting is good. I think that when they do have these big action set pieces and these fight sequences, I think those are good. And I'm really bummed. I understand. I'm pretty sure that James Gunn is having it canceled because he doesn't want competing Supermans. And I get that. But at the same time, I'm bummed about it because I can totally say that this Superman show is good and his movie is good. But I don't, I get it. Okay. So in this episode, we did get, the big reveal of that everybody knows now that Superman is Clark Kent. I don't really like this, but it's fine, it's the last season, so of course they can do that, but I just don't like that portion of the program. I wish that he would stay, with a secret identity. All right, so in saying that, let me get to this breakdown, and I'll meet you on the other side to tell me my thoughts. All right, here we go. All right, so in flashbacks, they show Clark joining the Daily Prophet's softball team, and Jimmy Olsen suspects Clark's true identity when his absences coincide with Superman's appearances and saves, which forces Clark to distance himself in order to protect his secret identity. So in these flashbacks, which have been peppered out throughout the episode, Jimmy Olsen, which I kind of also didn't like the fact that Jimmy Olsen didn't have a relationship with Clark Kent in this show. It was a bummer. It's a bummer that they didn't bring him on sooner. I mean, it's fine. I like the actor that's playing Clark Kent. Jimmy Olsen. He was in this show called The Alienist. That was a good show too. But he was good in that. So I did like these flashbacks because Jimmy was trying to be friends with Clark and just being like, hey, join our softball team. And Clark's all like, I can't because my dad didn't want me joining sports because I'm too strong and I would beat everybody kind of thing. And then he became the bunt cake king or whatever. And I did like these. And then finally he had to not be a part of it because Jimmy was getting suspicious. And he's all like, you just didn't want to play, And he's like, no, that's not it. And he's like, it's fine. You just didn't want to do it. It's fine. You didn't want to be my friend. I'm like, Jimmy, you're on the line of being a little bitch, so don't cross over it, all right, and everything, which he didn't, which is good. So Clark tries to prove to Smallville residents that he is not Superman. So this whole time, Clark has been going out of his way to convince these people that he is not Superman. And I mean, again, I'm just like, I totally get it. I mean, all of them suspected because the two boys were all like, oh, daddy, and everything when he died. Which is fine, But I mean, I just don't like it. I mean, I don't like the whole "we know you're Superman" thing, and him, But it was still fun, seeing him try to convince all these people that he's just regular old Clark Kent. Timmy Ryan confronts the twins over their powers, and he's angered by how he couldn't compete with them on the football team. And so then Clark and the twins then lie to Tim's mom about their powers despite Tim's insistence. So Tim Ryan, he gets into a fight with the boys. Now he's all like, you've got powers, and that's why I go with second string quarterback. And Jonathan was all like, that's not true and everything. And Jordan was kind of being, a little bit of a, he wasn't helping out the situation by being like, he was better than you. But at the time, Jonathan didn't have powers. So if they all knew he had powers, at one point he could be all like, I didn't have powers. And so that's why he's like, and then he was all like, that's why I had to take drugs so I could compete. And I'm all like, oh, get the hell out of here. Tim seems like a big bitch too. He's like, oh, I couldn't play first quarterback. Oh, you had powers. Oh, I couldn't compete. And it's like, I'm pretty sure you weren't that. You had to do drugs. So when Jonathan didn't do drugs, so you weren't that good already. So, again, being a little bitch. And then they go over to Tim's house and talk to his mother. And his mother's all like, I'll talk to him because are you on drugs again, son? And I'm all like, that's good. I like that. Meanwhile, in order to afford a house, Chrissy considers selling her share of the Gazette. Now, while having dinner with her and Kyle and Clark, Lois decides to use her inheritance to buy Chrissy's share so they can continue working together. So Chrissy and Kyle want to buy a house because they're having a baby. And I'm all like, well, your apartment's just fine for a little while. You guys can calm it down, but it's fine. And so she's considering selling her shares of the Gazette. And the one place that might buy it, ends up being something from Luther. And so she's like, I can't sell it. We're going to have to wait. And this was like the B storyline, which was fine. But I have to be honest, I don't care about Chrissy and Kyle. I mean, I do to a certain degree, but not really. But it was fine. And so Lois, she has got her inheritance from her dad. She's like, he only wore like 5 Hawaiian shirts. He never spent money, yada, yada, yada. So I got all this money from when he died. And I want to buy your shares because I want you to still work at the Gazette. Although I'm editor-in-chief now, fucker. And she's like, when you guys are back on your feet, you can pay me back. Or you can buy your shares back. Or something like that. And so they're having dinner at the diner to celebrate. Some fun stuff happens. And then later, Candace's father, Emmett, he enters in the diner and he shoots Clark, wanting to expose his identity. And then afterwards, Kyle has Emmett arrested, and the Kents learn that he learned Clark's identity from Luther, not Candace. So they're having dinner at the diner with Kyle and Candace, and in walks Emmett. If you remember from last season, Emmett was embarrassed in the bar because Clark showed him the business. But Emmett deserved it. He's still a total fuck. He was a loser then. He's a loser now. And nothing in the subsequent 5 minutes of him shooting Clark is going to change that. So he shoots at Clark. Now, I just want to tell you right now, this was my favorite scene in the entire episode. It was so good. He's so good. He comes in there and he's all like, you made me look like a fool. And I'm like, dude, you're all sweaty. You're all gross and everything. You did it to yourself. You look like a fool. So he's like, I'm going to show everybody in here that you're Superman. And I'm all like, oh, okay, cool. Let's check it out. And he shoots, right, at Clark. And as the bullet is going towards him, Clark is just in slow-mo, right? And he looks over at Lois, and Lois has this you got this, Clark. You got this, my dude, and everything. I love you. She's got this just confident look on her face. And Clark turns back to the bullet, right? And he rips open his shirt and then reveals the S. And the bullet hits the S. And as it falls to the ground, he's changed into his Superman outfit. And then he's standing there and everybody's in awe, right? And I loved this scene. I loved it so much. It was so good. At the end, I was like clapping. I was like, yeah, and everything. It was super awesome. I was happy about it. You can tell me how you felt about it, but I thought it was just so good. It was so good. I was like, so realizing how much harm their secret has caused, the Kents decide to stop hiding. And then the next morning, the Daily Prophet interviews Clark, and he publicly reveals his identity. So Clark has an interview with Janet Olsen, which is not in the comic books. I was like, what? I thought it would be, Jimmy Olsen doesn't have a sister in the comic books. If he does, I don't know about her. Sorry. He doesn't have a sister, but it's fine. It's fine. It doesn't even matter. She interviews him and he comes out and he's like, this is my identity. And he tells them that, I'm Superman. And he starts walking around without his glasses on, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But he, and the interview looked great and everything. And now everybody knows that Clark Kent is Superman. So no longer needing his glasses in public, right? Superman / Clark, he reconciles with Jimmy Olsen at the diner. So this is the end of the episode. He goes into the diner. He's walking through, his house in his town or whatnot without his glasses. And he walks in to the diner. And the one girl's all like, hi, Mr. Kent. She treats him like a normal person, not like Superman. And he's like, hey, what's up? And then Olsen's all like, hey, Kent, back here in the back and everything. And you're not really. You're like in the middle of the diner, but whatever. And so he sits down. He's like, the Bun King, that was good. I liked that and everything. And they sit down and they start, becoming friends. And again, I thought this episode was fantastic. I don't really like how everybody knows that he's Superman now. It doesn't bother me. Like, I'm not mad about it. I'm not one of those kinds of girls, but I don't like it. So that's just the end of that. But I did love that diner scene. That diner scene was so good. I do wish that they had Jimmy Olsen sooner rather than later, because I don't know. I just feel like that would have been good to bring him in earlier, but it's fine. It's totally fine. Not even upset about it. And I'm telling you right now, we only have 3 more episodes to go, you guys. I am bummed that that's going to be the end of it after those 3. I really enjoyed this episode. This season has been really, really good. And I'm going to miss this show. I'm not going to lie. I can't wait to see what they have for the next 3 episodes. It's going to be good. It's going to be so good and everything. But tell me what you guys thought about this episode. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What was your favorite part? It had to be that diner scene. If it wasn't that diner scene, I don't know what's wrong with you. See, and this is why we need a Big Sugar, like a short film, like just like a 5-minute thing, or like 5-6 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever. A Big Sugar, just his perspective through that just to watch him in the back as he's standing there like, huh? And then the bullet hits and he's like, oh shit, he's Superman. That would be so good. So good. See, this is what we need. This is what we need. Everything. Put it on YouTube, get 1 million views, all that good stuff. All right, but tell me what you guys thought. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And we'll see you guys on my next Superman and Lois breakdown review. You guys have a good day. Bye.